Hi Arjun, welcome to the Jewellery Pod.
Hi, Krishna. How are you doing?
Doing well. Happy to have you on our first episode.
Great. I'm looking forward to this. I was just telling you, it's, I think, a very good initiative, from your side. Looking forward to it. Yeah, for sure.
I really appreciate. While I was planning to have you as my first guest, there were 1,000 questions, but I tried to bring them in a list of like probably 10 questions.
Okay.
Not exactly how in sequence they will go, but I really wanted to know you as like fourth generation jeweler, studied from UK, and when you came back to UAE, how was it for you?
I can probably give you several aspects to it. My personal life, obviously, it changes a lot dramatically. I think for most students who come back, after being independent and living by yourself. So I was in the UK for 6 years and then I came back.
Mm.
So that shift, obviously, that transition from, going out, doing what you want to like going back to your family, it's kind of difficult, but it's also very gratifying as well because you have your family around you,
Right,
something that you don't get when you're living alone. You get the love, you get the support.
100%.
So that's always there. And in terms of work, because I've only officially worked in my family business, I can't really describe much else. I've worked, for summer jobs in the UK while I was there. I did like a 3 month, you could say like a small mini internship at a restaurant where, I did, waiting tables and I did a couple of months in a exchange house. So that experience was very different compared to what, I'm doing now. It's somewhere where, you get less authority on what kind of decisions you're making.
Right.
And it's more, someone else has to tell you, do this or do that, which is also good because that's how you learn, right? Eventually, that's how you know what decisions to take and what's going to get you to where you want to go.
That experience would have been not bit, like very humbling, right? And different. Because I know that you get the hang of all the shine of Dubai and then going out for the studies and doing this all together would be very different. Having said that, one good part of it and one part which you really never liked.
I don't think I didn't like any part of it. I loved each and every part. Like you said, it was a different experience. Like when you're by yourself and you're, especially when I was doing the summer job, you don't get the luxury of hopping onto your car, going to the workplace, and getting your work done. It's very different in the UK. You have to take the tube. You have to walk couple of kilometers,
Mm-hmm.
go to the place, and then you're nobody, right? And they treat you like everyone else, which was really, like you said, is very a very humbling experience. But at the same time, like I said, you learn how to actually, get yourself involved and learn how to make the best out of what you have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good to know that. That brings me to my next question, that what is the one perception that people have about your current role, like current job, as someone who is at fourth generation running business at such a big organization? So what people do think about you from outside, which is not actually true and could be overwhelming, could be underwhelming, could be underrated for that matter. Wanted to hear from you.
Perception, I guess most people assume that, since it's a family business, you get it easy. But it's the other way around. There's a lot more pressure on you as, someone who has to take care of, what's been passed on to you. So it's a lot more on your shoulders. So like they say, there's a pros and cons to everything. So you do get a little more on your hand. It's not left entirely to someone else. It's a little bit is on your hand. But at the same time, like I said, there's a lot more that you have to handle in terms of continuing the legacy and making sure that you take it forward and essentially don't tarnish the image, because that's what it comes down to, right? That's one of the most important things in a family business.
100%. One resistance that you really need to work hard once you join the business. I know it was a thing that's created already. You need to now just curate it and take it ahead. But you really felt like under pressure, or you wanted to make something bigger change. how things were actually running, and it took some time for you to bring that change, and probably how was the process like?
In response to your question, I could give you a very small example of what happened when I came to back to Dubai and started working with my dad. I can't remember what it was, but it was probably some silly little error or mistake or what it was. I don't know what it was. I can't. So the important part was not the mistake. The important part, what I learned from that story, was what I got out of it. So my dad told me, he gave me an example of how you're in an airport and you have those moving walkways, and then you also have the option of walking. So my dad told me there are 3 ways that you can get to your terminal when you're in the airport. You can either walk it, you can either stand on the moving walkway and you get to your destination, your terminal, or you obviously or you walk on the moving walkway and you get to your terminal. So my dad gave me the simple example. He was like, when you're in a business like us, all you need to do is stand on the moving walkway and you'll get to your destination.
Interesting.
Basically what that means is that don't try to think that you're smarter than everyone, because that's what happens when you come back. When you come back from an environment where, people obviously are in a more corporate and more educated environment, you think that you know better than everyone else. So you come back, you've got your degree, you come back to Dubai, you think that you know better than everyone. So you're trying to outpace everyone, you're trying to run, you're trying to walk, you're trying to do what you can. But the simple solution is you just stand on that moving walkway. Let everything just, come to you. You just take whatever is, coming your way, take whatever good you can, take whatever bad you can, and just walk down that pathway. So that's what I learned from my dad, and I've still had it in my head. So I'm just trying to follow that ever since.
That's some serious food for thought, indeed.
Yeah.
One change that you made in your day-to-day thing or productivity hack that worked for you?
I wouldn't say there's one. There's quite a few, because I'll be honest with you, probably a couple of years back, I was not as motivated, not as well driven, and so on. I think what really matters at the end of the day is you have to get out and do like some ugly, horrible, boring things, which means get up early. It means eating the right food, not necessarily the best tasting food. It means reading a little bit. It means getting out there, networking, even though it's not really my cup of tea, to be honest. I'm not a very people person, but then you have to do these things. These are things which, are going to help you in life. So these are things that obviously it comes to you as you grow older, I guess maturity, experience. So that's what I found really helps me with my day. Just making sure all these things, go right as much as they can.
If you would not be at Kanz Jewelers, what Arjun Dhanak as younger self would like to be or wanted to be? What you aspired to be when you were younger?
It's a very interesting question, and a very difficult one, to be honest, because I'll be honest with you, I started working officially after I got back from the UK, which was like the age of 23, but I was at my dad's shop since the age of 13 or 14. Every summer, either I'd be forced to it, and I'll be honest with you, I was forced into it. But I really loved the experience because I would go to the shop, and because I was like a young kid, all the clients who would come in, they would like treat me like like something really special. And that feeling and the love I got from my employees as well at the time, obviously because I was quite young, they would really pamper me a little bit. So when I saw that, I kind of felt that this is where I want to be. This is what I want to do, honestly speaking. So by the time I finished my education, I knew this is what I want to do. And the other thing is, at the age of 17 or 18, my dad randomly asked me, like, what do you want to do? Because it's obviously closer to work age, right? So when I was too young to even, grasp what life is. So I told him, like, I want to work. I want to do this. I want to do jewelry. And because it's what they say, right? Like once you vocalize your inner ambitions or your thought, that's when it becomes a reality, and then it's no looking back. Yeah. So that's what I would.
Would you think of inculcating your hobby or what you love to maybe channelize into business?
To be honest, I won't say my hobby, but like I have a very keen interest in music. I did try a lot of musical instruments, but it's just it's been a while, so I don't know if I could ever make a career out of it. Obviously, um, but other than that, I don't really have any hobbies which would translate into work or business. But yeah, I mean, I like to dress well. If I was ever to start a business, it would have to be maybe something to do with clothing or um,
That would be
yeah,
really interesting.
yeah. I mean, that's probably an alternative reality, possibly. But at the moment, I'm very happy with what I'm doing. So no complaints.
Great,
Yeah.
great. What you told about airport thing that your dad told you, and I believe it's about discipline. It's about consistency. One thing that you learned from your family business that probably your university across the world wouldn't teach you ever.
I would say everything I am now is because of my business, my work. Believe it or not, I don't want to downplay the importance of education because people who are watching this are gonna think that let's just drop out of school or college and start your own business or work with your family. I don't wanna give importance to that factor. But if there are people who are not sure what they want to do and they have a family business, definitely try to put more focus onto that, because that's what's eventually going to give you the most amount of exposure to the actual real world. And I think probably education will teach you morals and values to a certain extent. So when you meet like people from all over the world, depending on what educational institute you go to, you realize that like the world is one. Like everyone's like human at the end of the day, right? So human relation and values are more important than anything else. So that's probably not something that you learn in business, because in business you're taught to be, like you said, disciplined. You're taught to be focused and out there to earn money and hunt down whoever you can. That's what business teaches you, right? So
Right.
in that sense, I don't think anything else other than that. I mean, education is important for that main primary aspect.
So don't consider this as a pressure, but if I give you 10 seconds, what one thing you would say from that one thing you learned from your family? Could be a mantra, could be a trade secret, could be a secret sauce that's helping you now.
Um, my dad always used to say again, was that the day you stop learning is the day you've died. So keep learning. Basically, it's something that I think even he's doing at his age. I don't think he's stopped learning. So it doesn't mean that you just open a book and read something. It also means speaking to as many people as you can. You learn a lot from talking to people as well. I mean, that's kind of a skill that's forgotten in this day and age of social media. Everyone's on their, reels and all of that. You don't really get the chance to actually speak to people. So like I said, I'm not a people's person, but I do like interaction with one-on-one people. You get to learn a lot more about life and business even at times. So yeah, never stop learning. That's what I learned from my family and my dad in particular.
Great. That brings me to the next question, that though looking at the reels that you did lately for your brand,
Yeah.
you felt really comfortable in front of camera. Surprisingly, it's about lab-grown diamond and it's doing rounds on internet. How important it is for business owners to calm down themselves and speak about the business and not gatekeep so many things that consumers should be knowing in 2024.
So this reels that you're talking about, it's actually very common in industries which are not jewelry related. Unfortunately, I don't want to again downplay the jewelry industry, but we're quite far behind in terms of innovation. We've innovated in products and new jewelry designs and everything, but we unfortunately really don't give as much credit to our clients. We assume that they're
They're
They're a
going to walk
little-
in eventually.
They will walk. They will walk in eventually, and they assume that we are going to just show them something, and they're going to buy it. I think
Trade is
information
changing really, really fast.
and I believe that something that I give to my clients, the information I give, is going to be a lot more clear and concise. So it's important to give information to clients. And my entire purpose of doing these videos is to try and uplift the jewelry industry as a whole. It's not about my brand. I have friends who they tell me that they're not really that interested in buying jewelry.
Right.
They only buy for the weddings, and it's like a cool thing to say. It's like when you're hanging around with like a group of 5 people, everyone's like, oh, I don't wear jewelry. Oh, I only wear jewelry if it's if it's for a wedding. It seems like a cool thing to do, but so that's where I want to like bring in people to actually appreciate jewelry. So it's not just about my brand; it's just in general, I feel. And again, information is something that's lacking in our industry. We don't have enough information, enough clear, transparent information, unfortunately.
Given a broader platform, what you would love to talk to people about when it comes to jewelry industry and being on the retail front?
A lot. Like I said, I think we really underestimate, the intelligence of our clients. We assume that they want offers, they want promotions, they want discounts, zero making charges. We assume that. Maybe it is true to a certain extent, but I feel that what clients or what the general public really wants is some sort of a connection to the brand and jewelry in general. Like I said, if there is a message and they can actually relate to, or they can actually understand, then I think that would be good. So that's what I'm trying to do. That's what I ultimately aim. Whatever I do, I'm going to make sure that it benefits the entire industry as a whole, because that's ultimately what I want to do. I'm obviously, my brand is there, but I would like the jewelry industry as a whole to be, growing as much as it can, because it has a lot of potential. I mean, I don't know if you know this, but like, I think there's about 11% of the entire gold in the world belongs to Indian women, right? So There's a lot of potential. Like that 11% could go up to 15, 20%, and that little change can also bring about a huge shift to all brands. So yeah.
So value over everything.
Yes, exactly.
One potential threat that you think that jewelry industry gonna face in near future, and are you ready for it? Are you hedging yourself with that threat in any of the ways?
There are threats which come in, I think, almost every season, every year. Right now, like I said, I'm seeing a lot of people like doing offers, promotions, and I don't know. Personally, I don't see it like happening longer term. I don't see this working out in the benefit of the industry, because what we're doing is we're just, we're trying to see who gets the better, the better offer, the better promotion, and then at some point it's gonna kill our industry. I feel, right? Like people are gonna get exhausted seeing the same. It's like if you go to a mall and you have, but there are some brands which have like all year round 90% off 90%. Sale, right? So we're heading in that direction, and these are not small brands that are doing it in our industry. The big brands are doing this, which I feel is not good ultimately for us and for the consumer as well, because I think consumers are going to realize that if I'm giving you a discount, it's not that I'm paying it out of my pocket, right? I'm obviously charging you a lot more, and I'm ultimately giving you an offer or a promotion or gift or whatever it is. No one's giving money out of their pockets. I just want consumers to know that. So I'm not anti-promotion, anti-marketing or all of that. I do believe, yes, of course, if it's, let's say, Diwali, you do your offers, you do your, but that's because it's a festive season, you really want to give out. But other than that, I feel like people should just be sensible, price their products according to, what they think the value is, and people will come to you. That's what I believe in. I might be wrong, of course, but that's one of the major threats, I feel. Other than that, I feel family businesses, I feel we're kind of a little bit under threat. Uh, but like you said,
Well, if you're
what am I
not-
doing about it? I'm doing this. I'm having a podcast with you where I can discuss a lot of things.
Arjun, one myth about jewelry industry that people have, that they think that it's shining, it's gold, it's diamonds, it's in Dubai. But we are insiders. We know it's not exactly
Exactly
how,
right.
how
The way
we
you
think.
asked me, it seems like we're making a bomb. We're making a lot of money, but when you actually look into it, end of the day, we have very thin margins. We work on not as much as you would think for sure. Yeah.
And gold, we don't own the gold mines. So
No, we don't own any gold mines. I wouldn't be. I'd be sitting in a palace, relaxing if that was the case. But we don't own anything.
You also did a really good video about this as well, that gold price need to be paid. It doesn't belongs to jeweler, or it doesn't belongs to customer. Gold price is gold price. Anything besides that is something where you make margin.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes. So the purpose of that video was just to show people, because these are queries that I get on a regular basis. People come into our shop, they ask us, why am I paying making charges? So why is the gold price this? Can you not make something better on the gold price? So I want people to understand. I mean, it's common sense, but to a lot of people who don't know that gold price is it's fixed. You can't really do much with it. And making charges, of course, is the only variable in the entire calculation. But even that, we have very thin margins because it's so competitive. And to be honest, it's not in my nature to take more from someone, because it's
But
not
also
really,
that's very it's out there. It's not. There are massive rents. You have team of huge staff in every store.
exactly.
Then there's
Yeah.
electricity, and then there's so many
Yeah.
things. The overheads are off the roof.
Exactly. So Gold Souk in particular is probably the most valuable area of Dubai, which I don't know if people know, because they all assume that downtown Business Bay, that side is probably the most expensive per square kilometer, per square foot probably, but it's not. I think it's Gold Souk. Could be wrong, but yeah, someone can correct me.
It is. It is.
It
And
is.
don't. And again, let's repeat that once. Gold doesn't belong to our home.
Sorry?
Gold doesn't belongs to our home.
Gold doesn't belong to our home. Yeah.
Cool. I was following all the campaigns of Kanz Jewellery, and I observed that there's a crazy obsession with the Bollywood celebrities. If they are here, they have to be at your shop as well. And you guys do inaugurations with them. And so what's this obsession with the celebs, and they're coming to Kanz Jewellery? And I would love to know as...
Well, to be honest, anyone who's come to our store, which is who's a celeb, they all just come out of respect and friendship. We don't really pay anyone to come to our store.
Wow.
Apart from, I would say, honestly speaking, we had Ranveer Singh who came for our shop inauguration in Meena Bazaar. Other than that, they all just come, from the love and respect for my dad. And we don't even promote it, to be honest. I'm surprised that you know about it, but we don't announce it before they come. They come because they want to see my dad. They want to see what Gold Souk is like. Sometimes they want to come to Meena Bazaar. They just want to see what that area looks like, what the jewelry stores there look like, and they want to meet my dad, and that's about it. But I guess to a certain extent, it adds some layer of brand. Basically, I would say probably even the brand value brings them to our shop.
That's really cool. But also in few of the movies that they have shot, they are shot in your stores, right?
Yes, we've had...
Welcome for that matter.
Exactly. So I was going to say, so we've had a welcome back, the second
Right.
sequence to the first welcome. It was shot in small particular scene was shot in our store where they showed the world's biggest ring by Taiba. It was obviously, it's in our store, so they thought they'd include it. It was quite memorable. And then we also had a movie called Sarkar 3, shot in our shop. Yeah.
That's really interesting. Also, business laws are changing, accounting laws are changing. New taxation is coming to UAE. How beneficial it is for everyone, and what are the challenges that people are facing?
I would say that contrary to what most people would say, these laws are actually quite beneficial to companies. Um, of course, if it's limited to a certain extent, which 5% is quite reasonable in terms of VAT, and 9% for corporate tax is also fine. It actually makes ensures that our companies are following the proper books of accounts and everything is transparent as compared to before when these laws were not in place. So it's good in a way for sure.
It has added too much of paperwork, and it also demands much more accounting staff to take care of it, right?
Yeah.
We need to learn it. Like it's new
Yes.
for
It's new for us
retail
because
community.
it's new for us because obviously uh, we're one of the last countries in the world probably who've had tax. So it's new for the entire country for sure. But I think it had to come sooner or later. So we have to accept it as what it is. And of course, you're right. It does add a lot more paperwork, a lot more actual employees have to be involved in it. But it is what it is, right? We have to do it.
100%.
Yeah.
Arjun, one thing, if you need to recreate, start from the scratch. Just imagine this as a scenario where you're given a chance and opportunity to rebuild the whole thing. What you will start with?
I think the form of communication that we've started now, where we're engaging more of the millennials, the more Gen Z generation, I think we could go back. I would definitely like to, rope them in and, make them see what jewelry is all about. So, I mean, better late than never, but yeah, if I could do it, that would probably be one of those things.
That would be really amazing.
Yeah.
And probably I think that's a thing the industry need to think. They're always about what they are selling, what they are in terms of size. They're just big boys showing their big muscles out there, but really not interacting with the generation who's actually spending nowadays.
Yeah, and now we've also got the Gen Alpha. The oldest ones are now 14, right? We got to think about them. For them, technology is not a tool anymore. It's way of life. So, I mean, everybody knows what AI is about and what it's capable of. I think I was reading up somewhere, it's like something that's going to be bigger than the internet revolution. It's definitely part of human evolution. It's not part of, a tool or any kind of means anymore. It's part of human evolution. So we got to look in that direction as well, I feel.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Arjun, we'll conclude this whole conversation with one message from you that you would love to give to everyone out there.
I think one message, something that I mentioned a little earlier was I think as in general, I think I would appreciate if everyone can at least get out of this that jewelry is not a commodity. Jewelry is something that you wear. It can be an investment as well, obviously. So I hope that people can actually look at jewelry differently at the end of this little discussion that we've had. And I hope some of my friends, start wearing more jewelry. So, benefits everyone, not just me. That's what I want to say. Yeah.
Great. That's a great message. Thank you, Arjun, for your time.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.